यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वन जय गौरानीताय 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 जय गौरानी गौरानीताय गौरानीताय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय मिथिला विष्णु परिव्राज के स्टोर डिवाइन गेज वैचरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की श्रीमद् भागवतम की प्रेम से कहो कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद यद्वीर गदाधर स्वामी गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोविंदाम की हरिनाम संकीर्तनम की जुगधर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की समवेत भक्तवृंद की निराय गो प्रेमानंद हरि बोल ऑल glories to somebody bodies all glories to somebody bodies all glories to somebody bodies all श्री गुरु and गौरंग श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं पूजायादमुदीरये अष्टप्रायशभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नैस्तिकी। In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 19, Text number 16, Chapter title, Perfection of Spiritual Knowledge. Adhavante cha madhye cha srijyat srijyam yat anmityat punastat pratishankrame kame punastat pratishankrame यच्चिष्येत तत् एव सत् आधावन्ते च मध्ये च सृज्यात् सृज्यं यद् अन्विवात् पुनस्तत् प्रतिसंक्रामे यच्चिष्यते तत् एव सत्। What word meaning? Sorry. Adhav, in the causal stage. Ante, in the termination of the causal function. Cha, also. Madhye, the phase of maintenance. Cha, also. Srijyat, from one production. Srijyam, to another production. Yat, which. Anmiyat, accompanies. Punaha, again, tat, all of material phases, pratishankrame, in the annihilation, yat, which shishyata, remains, tat, that, eva, indeed, tat, the one eternal. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, disciples. Commencement, termination, and maintenance are the stages of material causation. That which consistently accompanies all these material phases from one creation to another and remains alone when all material phases are annihilated is the one eternal purpose. Lord here reiterates that one Supreme Personality of Godhead is the basis of unlimited material variety. Material variety is a chain of cause and effect relationships. Here, material activity is a chain of cause and effect relationships by which innumerable objects are produced. A particular material effect is converted into a subsequent cause, and when the causal phase is terminated, the effect disappears. Fire causes firewood to burn to ashes, and when the causal function of the fire is finished, fire itself, which was the effect of a previous cause, is also terminated. The simple fact is that all material objects are created, maintained, ultimately annihilated by the supreme potency of the Lord. And when the entire field of material cause and effect is withdrawn, so all that cause-effect relationships vanish. The personality of Godhead remains in his own abode. Therefore, although innumerable objects may function as causes, they are not the ultimate or supreme cause. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the absolute cause. Similarly, although material things may exist, they do not always exist. The Personality of Godhead alone has absolute existence. For the process of jnana, or knowledge, one should understand the supreme position of the Lord. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshus Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sandhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. Here the Lord is continuing about the cause and effect. So here he says, in this material world, everything has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has to end. Anything, right from Brahma, the powerful, and to the lowest of the ant, everything has a beginning and end. Like we are born one day, we grow, produce byproducts, one fine day, we go off. This has to be properly understood. This knowledge is very important. If we don't understand this, that this material, anything material is subject to annihilation, it's very difficult for us to understand spiritual knowledge. So Lord is insisting that Adhav Ante. Commencement means beginning and end. They're all stages, different stages. Even if we see the butterfly, it looks so beautiful. Nice wings and shapes, colors. But if you see the beginning, it looks like a worm. Before that, like a cocoon. Cocoon means like a spongy type. You can't even imagine this will become beautiful. So what will happen? It keeps on growing. The small wings come, then the tentacles come. After some time, butterfly starts flying. But is the butterfly always permanent? After some time, the butterfly also produces one more butterfly, byproducts. And this butterfly, after some time, the wings become weak and it collapses. It produces byproducts. That same byproducts, again it produces, it collapses. This is happening in the material world for eternally. But there is one personality, Krishna himself says, he can't tell that I am that. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Aham Adhiri. He says, eternal. Yat Shishyate Tat Eva Sat. He always, Sat means eternal. That one eternal. That we have to understand, the same personality God, Krishna, is always there. For him, he is Ajaha. He is not born, he is not dead. He is always existing. But in this material world, what do we see? It has beginning and it has end. And through this transformation, there is one thing always consistently accompanying. That is Lord. He is always accompanying through all these material phases, one creation to another creation. It can be our own body. It can be the manifestation in this material world. Any species if we take, everything, this boy was very young, like a cute baby, some 15 years back. The parents were very happy. After some time, he started growing, dehinosmin yata dehe, kaumaram yavanam jara. After jara, again happens. So this phase, the middle phase is called the maintenance phase. Not only the living entity, even a non-living entity, a material object, anything you buy a product, it doesn't remain always there. There was one scientist in Coimbatore, G.T. Naidu. I know how many of you understand. He was very innovative. He thought, why can't we produce some object which is always there with us? Imagine you buy one phone. Phone doesn't get repaired. It's always working. How nice it would be. But then the manufacturer will be in loss. If your phone is always working, only one time you buy. But the phone will get repaired after 1 or 2 years, again you buy a new one. So G.T. Naidu, he wanted to make a blade, shaving blade, which will never get rusted. It will always be sharp. He succeeded. But he had enemies. All blade manufacturers, they said this blade will be very difficult. It will poison your skin. They stopped it. Why I am saying that is, even the material object will collapse. It will not be with us always. It will be with us for some time, it will go away with us sometime. Either be a living entity or non-living entity. But there's one personality, Lord is accompanying always. He is one who gives everything. Eko bahunam o viridatu kaman. He is one, he gives everyone. We may also tell, something human beings said, I was alone, I got married, I have byproducts. That byproducts also will go away from him. But the soul, the Lord, eternal, Satchidananda, is always there. There cannot be a time we say, what is the birthday of your soul? Soul has a birthday? No. It has no birthday. Only the body has a birthday. Because they feel, oh, on the birthday, we become new. That's also a concoction, a imaginary. And people are celebrating for becoming old on that birthday. So here, punastat pratishankrame. Again, all the middle phases, pratishankrame, in the annihilation. Even in the Lord's manifestation, creation, sometime will be maintained, then annihilation. Brahma's 12 hours, there will be one annihilation. Brahma's 1 day, there is annihilation. Then there is a Purna annihilation, completely. Then it remains some time, and again it starts. Like morning comes, today morning we had a sunshine, afternoon sun is here, evening sun is disappearing. Again tomorrow morning. Come, go, come and go. So we should not be worried about it. We have to keep going, and we should have a goal. What is our goal? We have to go to that place where there is no this extremity of temporary things. That's the main subject. What in this particular shloka Krishna is mentioning to Uddhava. He is saying that one who is actually wise, buddhiman, he knows the truth about him, that means soul, and the truth about the Lord. We should know both. Sometimes they only truth about soul. They don't know about him. There are some category, they know about the Lord, they don't know him. The soul cannot exist without the Lord. So this knowledge has to be some more cultivated by the living entity. Then when he processes the transcendental knowledge, he understands that this is a world of duality, dvanda, up and down, happiness, distress. Why should I be in this world which is full of extremities? Let me go to a place where there are no extremities. He gets his knowledge. This knowledge will make him very happy, of course. But until and unless we get this knowledge that I am temporary, the soul is permanent, body is temporary, the living entity will loitering be in this material world, suffering and suffering. Somewhere between two suffering, one small enjoyment will be there, and he still struggles. That we saw in the previous shloka. When he comes to the platform that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, starts engaging in the activity to satisfy the Supreme Lord, who is the master of all, then he gets a real enjoyment. That is called the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga teaches us how to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality Godhead. We may not have the Lord directly in present of us, but we are so fortunate. He has given many other ways through which we can engage in His service. So this transcendent knowledge is more higher than any other pious activity. There's a difference between bhakti and punya. Punya makes you come again and again. Bhakti, when you perform, even if you live in the middle, it will be carried out in the next life the way you left until you reach the 100%. So transcendent knowledge is greater than any of the pious activity. Chanting of the Vedic mantras, like we have different in the Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, where they have only taught a certain object. Then we are not able to transcend. In Bhakti Yoga, everything is done in relation to the Supreme Personality Godhead. Then that becomes transcendental. That's what Krishna in this particular chapter in Uddhava Gita is trying again and again to tell Uddhava. Pure devotional service is greater than all other knowledge. That is called the Vishuddha. So here, Yat Cheshta Tad, he says, it remains always. When everyone goes, one person remains. Of course, one can argue in the material world, will all die? Will the world become empty? Once somebody was asking, I think, when this world, everyone becomes devotee and goes back home, back to Godhead, what will happen to this earth planet? And jokingly it was meant, this earth planet will start floating to all this Devi Dhamma, Mahesh Dhamma, it will be going and floating, land and the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. But that will not happen. There will be always jivas falling from Brahma Jyoti, jivas coming from the previous activity. There will always be. We have never seen any jail in this material world empty. There will at least be one prisoner. Once the one prisoner is gone, after finishing his term, 5 more prisoners will come. And this 5 goes, 10 more will come. This is the way this material world is existing. So there is no problem. This material world will be full of jivas. But those jivas who have become very tired of enjoying and suffering, they will start thinking, why should I loiter in the material world? They will take up devotional service and they'll be going back, trying to get the way how they can go back home, back to Godhead. And Lord is observing this always. Even the Sveshastra Upanishad, we know the story of 2 birds and their tree. The 2 birds sitting, one bird is just plucking one fruit, whether this fruit is thirsty, whether that fruit is there, and it will leave half eaten. This shop has nice material. That shop has more shining things. I can buy in that shop. So if you see the shop people, they don't go to one shop. They go to many shops. Likewise, the jiva, this bird, is picking up a different fruits and trying to see which is better. There's another bird, quietly just observing. That's the Paramatma. The soul, as long as it's not self-realized, it will be trying to get happiness from different sources. Once it gets very tired, chi, porumpa, in Tamil solluvom. The example of a fox. Nerikatha theriyuma unakku? School solli kodutha nerikatha. One fox was walking in a grape garden. Lot of juicy grapes were hanging. Juicy grapes. The water was flowing from the mouth of this fox. He thought, I can jump and take. He jumps, he's not able to. Second jump, not able to. Grapevine is higher. He keeps on jumping. After some time it is telling, it is not accepting that he is tired. That is the foolishness of our as living entity. It never accepts defeat. Like this fox was thinking, maybe these grapes are sour, I don't want. He could have told, because I am not able to jump, I am not able to pluck it. What it says, this grapes are sour and it goes off. So we are trying to do many things. If we don't get it, we blame the cause. We are the effect. The cause is really the Supreme Lord. He will never be polluted, very pure, everything is perfect. Because we are imperfect, we see the perfect also imperfect. Suppose my mukkanadi, my spectacle, if it's dusty, whatever I see will be dusty. So I can't just tell you are dirty. But you would have put a clean dress, clean dhoti. No, it is dirty. I am seeing very dirty. Then you will tell people, Your glass is very dirty, wipe it. Then if I take a cloth and wipe it, I can see the cleanliness. So Bhakti Yoga cleanses the mind. Hetu Darpana Marjanam. So all the activities in the Bhakti Yoga cleanses so that we can really see the real cause, who is cause of all causes. Cause and effect. That's the subject being both are belong to the Lord. Nothing exists independent of the Lord. Somebody says, I can exist independently. Even in this world, everyone has to be dependent. If you want to cook something, you are dependent on the kitchen cook. The cook has to depend on the purchaser of vegetable, and the purchaser has to depend on the shopkeeper. He has to be depending on the wholesale wala. Wholesale wala has to depend on that farmer who's growing. The farmer has to depend on his servants. Then the seed has to come. Then he has to be depending on the rain god. So many factors are keep on going. Ultimately, it will land up in the Lord's hand. That's the way we have to go. And suddenly you can't tell, I have grown food. The farmer said, now I am growing food, my rice. How you got the rice? You are only the intermediate cause, not the supreme cause. The supreme cause is the Lord. This knowledge, this is the process of knowledge by which one can understand the supreme person of God. If you don't understand this, we think that I am cause of all, I am doing. Impossible. So that I element has to be removed. Nothing can exist without the Lord's help. The child, when it walks, it falls, parents will lift. Again, after it's walking, it will tell the parent, I am walking. Again, it will fall. So we are also like child in spiritual life. We keep falling. Our mind goes down. We need a superior cause. The Lord will pull us. Will pull us from this dark ocean of nations. So here, the entire field of material cause and effect is withdrawn. Like a spider. Have you seen spider? Ittakal puchi. It will spin the web from the saliva. Beautiful design. Even the AutoCAD, the computer cannot produce that type of symmetry. Octagonal, hexagonal, layer, spider. You see a close-up. So it will produce from its own saliva. After some time, it will get married, get children. Any lizard comes, it will capture. After some time, it will pull. And it goes to another place. So Lord also will create and annihilate. Creation, there will be maintenance and annihilation. We all know that there are different avatars of the Lord. Can anybody mention? You can tell. Reading. There's one avatar, category of avatar. We have Purusha avatar, Manvantara avatar. One category avatar where somebody is doing this, maintaining, somebody is creating, somebody is destroying. Who is creating? Paramatma. Lord. So Lord Vishnu, who is a creator, a maintainer, or a destroyer? No, if you see in material world, creation is done by a secondary creator, Brahma. Brahma creates. And Vishnu is maintaining. Then Nataraja, recently we had this Shivaratri and all. He's dancing. When he dances, everything collapses. It is mentioned that during annihilation, Pralaya, 36,000 years of rain. How many years? We had 1 day rain, 3 hours rain, it got flooded. 36,000 of years, what will happen? Entire world will be like mashed up. Then 36,000 years of sun, heavy sun, everything will get dried up. Yes, we put vegetable, dal, everything in a water and boil it after some time, everything will be together, mashed up. Everything, all the elements we saw, 28 elements, everything will be smashed up and will be annihilated. Again, we start. Mahatattva again start. This is going on eternally, continuously. And this will be happening. There's no anadi will be happening. As was mentioned here, the so-called cause-effect relationship looks like it's vanishing, but it's eternally happening. And the Supreme Person of Godhead, He always is residing in permanent abode. This is very important. Although innumerable objects may function as causes, everybody is a cause here. I am the cause of my family, I can tell. You are the cause of your something. The scientists say, I am the cause of gravitational, whatever is there. All the little causes one day will completely go away. That one cause, the supreme cause, the primary cause, will always exist. That's what mentions here. Material things will always be vanishing. It is not eternal. That's why we say difference between material and spiritual. Matter is temporary, spirit is permanent. But this temporary also, since it's there for long time, it looks like permanent. If a prisoner in the jail, if he's put in the jail for 36 years, he will think jail is his house. He'll never come out. When somebody says, you please come out, we'll give you a nice house, you say, I am very happy here, you go out there. Since similarly, the soul is there in this material world for crores and crores of years, even though the Lord is coming to rescue us, himself or through his instruction through Acharya, like the prisoner, he said, oh Lord, you go back, I am happy here. In the Raja Vidya, there's a nice story Prabhupada says about Indra getting cursed as a pig. I'm just repeating. It's a very nice story. Indra was cursed. Indra gets cursed always. He got a curse. And just an example, as a Homer. He gets a curse to be born in Kannamapet. In T Nagar, there's a where Kannamapet, sewage will be going, home, water. And Indra is coming as a pig, very stout pig, nicely eating. When somebody is healthy, that means he is having a good appetite. So he has a lot of children. Meanwhile, in the Indraloka, the seat is empty. The demigods are wondering what's happening. King of heaven. They go to Brahma. Oh, Brahma, do something. Brahma, through his Jnana Dishti, he sees. He puts his Google map, Brahma map. He finds he's in Kannamapet here. Oh, then he comes with his Kamandalu and comes to the pig. Hey, Indra. Indra said, no, don't call me Indra. I'm a pig, Mr. Pig. Sometime when somebody comes to our house, we like to introduce our children. He is my first son. He's studying in the second standard. This is my daughter. He's a good painter. We glorify our children. When that visitor says, oh, it's nice children, he gets a pride. So Indra is telling as a pig, this is my first son, second son, 12 sons he has, 12 or 13 children. And he's so happy, and all the pigs are wagging the tail. See how happy they look. Brahma is putting his hand on the head. Are Indra, you're not meant to stay here. Your position is in Indraloka. That's a wonderful place, not in the gutter. Then eating stool and all unwanted thing. Then also Indra is saying, no, you see here, this is my first gutter. Evening I'll go to that other gutter. Tomorrow I'll go to another gutter. Today I'm staying in 2 BHK, tomorrow in 4 BHK, then day after tomorrow in Basant Nagar. Next year I'll stay. We are saying that. Then Brahma said this is enough and takes water in the commando and puts on that big. Indra comes to senses. What I'm saying is, even the great Indra, after staying in his material world in a body for a few years, it gets attached. What to speak of the living entity which has been attached to this body, many bodies for many years? It will be very difficult for us to come out. Unless one is tired in material life, he cannot come to spiritual life. That is mentioned. We have to get tired completely. If you think I'm enjoying, the difficulty is also for them enjoying. People are working hard. In that hardness also they think I'm enjoying very nicely. In the jail, the prisoner is getting beating like anything from jailer. He's saying I'm very good. If I come outside, I have to work. Here I'm getting, bell rings, chapati comes, afternoon some lunch comes, nice some dinner. I'm very happy here. So, we have to understand that we are living in this material world which is temporary. I have to go to a place where I go, I will not come back. Janma karma cha me divyam, yo me veti tattvadaha, tiktva devam, naiti mam. You will not come back again once you come to my abode. That abode, Krishna says very clearly in the Gita, is not temporary, is permanent. So that is the real goal of a living entity. That will be obtained by jnana. That Gita, Krishna has given very full. Sometimes after reading Gita, we forget. The other day I was mentioning, we get stuck. The same information is given in different pastimes from different devotees in the Bhagavatam. Even the second canto, we learn many things. Then we have come to 11th canto. So, Sukadeva Goswami is singing, oh Parishit Maharaj may forget. Again he is introducing this again. body and soul, cause and effect. So Parishit Maharaj should never give up that mentality. You should not think that, oh, today is the sixth day. Seventh day I'll be getting bitten by snake. One more day I have. Let me go and enjoy. He's keeping that memento, that vairagya, and telling even in the 11th canto, he's putting this part that you have to be very careful. The real cause is the Supreme Lord. So that should be our attitude. We may be in whatever state we are in, and very big state. That means was our position, high position, whatever is there. Everyone has to come to the lowest position. That means our body becomes flat. Tamil யாரோ சொல்லுவாங்க பாடையை கட்டுறது. Katta means, what do you tell? Wood. Wood will, when you put the wood down, wood piece, it falls down directly. When you put a rubber, it will become like this. Wood falls like. So when the soul leaves his body, he will not stand. That's why they tie that. So this body is like just like a wood piece without soul. When soul is there, I can bend, I can do anything. But when soul goes, the body becomes tight. நீங்கள் ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது, முறுக்கலாம் அவ்வளோதான், பெண்ட் ஆகாது. That shows soul is running this body. That is the real cause. That should be understood. These are some of the points we have taken, the small purport. So as devotees, we are also trying to help those who are falsely thinking they are the cause, and tell them you are not the cause, the Lord is cause. And they may not take it up. Slowly we have to try to help them. If we don't, we are not able to convince them, just give this information to them. Give a book of Gita in this time of marathon. Somewhere they will read some purport and think, oh, I am not the cause. I am only temporary. Real cause is it. Anything, any devotee has comments? Then கேட்க நம்ம கேள்வி எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சு போச்சு. I told 3. One is maintenance. Who is destroying? Who is destroying? Shiva. So you are creator, maintainer, or what? Nothing. Mayavadi. So we have to always analyze in that manner. I am creating, but I am creating only the things what I get from somebody I am creating. When somebody is creating this glass, he has to depend on the alloy, steel, Salem steel plant. They have to take ore, manganese or iron ore, ferrous, do it. Everything has a end point, beginning point and end point. Kamalam. Yeah. Margin. So, Lord. Living entities. Well, that's what Tripad and Ekapad and Tripad. 70% is an imagination. 70% of the populations are here. And 70% also we don't know how much. They're all unlimited. Also, I was just thinking, if middle world is empty, devotees will have no job, no unemployed to preach. The devotee have to get a chance. It will not get. There will always be a place where there will be enough people to hear about it and there will be preaching going on. Like we say, I am emptying this water. One question. I am emptying this water in this glass. This is empty or full? What does it have? It is still there. What is inside that? Air is there. It can't be emptied. That's what Brahma Rambhu is saying. You can't empty. There will be something. If water is not, air will be there. We should not think we can empty. It will always be there. That's a wonderful mercy of the Lord. Lord's mercy is acting in such a way that will always be, He will always be there. He will never empty. If you think it's empty means Mayavadata. Rather than everything Shunya. They are mentioning that Mano Nasha. The Mayavadata says mind should be emptied. But the last thought, I emptied my mind, that itself is a desire. The mind can never be emptied. That's a vague argument. The devotees use it. Mind fill up with all Krishna conscious realization and they will use it. More you put Krishna conscious element, all the non-Krishna conscious element will be taken away. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Gaur Prem.